Hi everyone, Brett back, Altitude Scale Modeling. I realized I hadn't done an update on the progress of the SU-34 in a while. So I thought I'd show you some of the decaling, what's going on. I am using 2 Bob's Syrian Sukhoi decals. It's a nice set, comes with SU-34 and SU-24 decals, which is good because I have an SU-24. I'm doing red 26. Don't know why, I just picked red 26. These are the sheet they come on, 2 Bob's. I cut out the ones I need for red 26. You also get a secondary sheet with the walkways and the circles for the top and the tail. I'm also going to have to be using the stencils from Hobby Boss for the stencil part. So I've already started. I've got, you see a little silvering there, but I've got red 26 there. I've got the wing ones on. I've got the tail one on this side. You see, this is where I'm at. This is also a decal. So I've weathered. First I painted it using Ataka paints, great paints. They've done a very good job. Used them for the cockpit, used them for the underside. Very good paints. First time I've used them. Wanted to try something different. But anyway, as you can see, it's slightly weathered. And before people go, I've seen SU-34s in that color, and I've never seen them weathered. Well, I'm going to throw some pictures up of, let's see, this is a squadron of red 25, red 26, headed to Syria. And then there's going to be several pictures of them on the ground after they've been there a while, including one of the canopy area of red 26, where it looks like they started to spray an anti-glare shield on there by hand, which I'm not going to do. But as you can see on the panel fade of red 22, red 25, some of the other ones I've got in there, there is extreme panel fade on these in Syria. And I've done only light panel fading. Haven't done any weathering yet because I want to get the decals on. So we're going to start with some of the more difficult ones. First, the parachute opening on the back. 2 Bob's included a decal. And right here, it goes on the back. Now it is a complex curved area back there. So I'm probably going to use Solvaset for that, just to get it down to conform better. This is just lukewarm room temperature water with a little bit of microsol in it. Several good decaling solutions on the market, including a new one from UMP, which just came out, so I haven't tried it yet. But I'm sure I'll order it. I'll let that sit there. This does not have a gloss coat on it. I polished it all nice with this to make it extremely smooth where I'm putting decals. Over the areas that I'm not putting decals, you can still hear a little bit of roughness. But I'll smooth it all up before I gloss coat it, and I will be gloss coating it after the decals are done and dry. So let's turn this around. Put a little bit of water back here. Get the 24 ones out of the way. Now, I'm not sure how well this is going to conform, so I may have to abandon it if I can't get it to conform very well. Because, you know, this is a cone back here. see, this is gonna, I wonder if I need to cut it out, but it doesn't say so. Well, let's throw a little of this on. And just let it go for a while and see what it does. May have to put a slit into it. Alright, we're gonna make sure it's straight. And let it sit there for a while and bed down. So let's do that. Let's go back over here. We need to put sorry, I had it on the stand the wrong way. There we go. We need to put the danger intake ones on here. Again, get them a little wet. They don't have to be soaked. I like to get the whole paper completely wet. So sit here and absorb the water. I've got my references back here on the Mac. I've got this here, which has got some good references on it. Like I said, I'm doing red 26. There's one side, there's the other. You can see my paint's been coming off my tape as I've been putting other tape on it to mask off squares and things. And these are very good decals. They come off quickly, they can form well. Like I said, the silvering I'll work on. When I'm rolling the water out of my decals, I always make sure my cotton bud is wet so I'm not moving the decal around too much like that. Absorbing the extra water away. Make sure it's straight. Dab it with a little microsol. And now I've only used the solva set for that one in the back so far. Now I've got another one that's going in here. Now I've seen some of them with the danger intake on both sides, some of them without. I'm using a little artistic license, and because they don't go on the SU-34, I'm putting them both on. Alright. I've been using solva set, and you can see there's no tide marks on anything. That was a pain. Pain in the booty. Okay. Now another one. See this white circle right here I painted. Well, if you look close, I missed the panel line. I made it too small. So I'm going to stick this decal on it that happened to come with the 2-bob set. See how it looks. See if too much of the eggplant shows through and I can't use it. Or if I can use it and it looks just right. Because I don't want to have to go and repaint it, but I will if this doesn't work. So, let that go off for a second while I'm doing that one. We're going to get this last vent wet too. So I wasn't going to sit here and make you sit through me putting all the decals on here. Just wanted to pop in, show you where we stood, show you some decals, show you some cool SU-34 in Syria pictures, so you can see where I'm coming from. Okay. Now if this completely covers, conforms okay and doesn't bleed through the eggplant, I'll be happy. Right now it's currently covering completely. Needs to move just a little bit and still be inside the panel lines. Some more microsol in there to get it to settle down. And we'll see what it looks like after it settles down, dries up, absorbs the liquid. Now we're going to work on the tail. For the tail, we have Russian lettering and a star. The red star of the Solar Federation. For those of you who are Rush fans. So, first I'm going to do this vent that I've got sitting here ready to go. Oops. Came right off on the finger. There's a danger to doing some really good decals, getting them all stuck on your finger. Surface is wet nicely, fits nicely into the panel line. Soak up some of this water. Microsol it. Check on this back one. Give it some more solid set. It's either going to conform or it's going to split. You got to be careful when touching them, or else it'll shatter under you. Just want to make sure it's in the right spot, and I'm not going to touch it anymore. Perfect. It's starting to conform. Leave it alone. Over here. I know you can't really see what I'm doing. There, maybe a little bit there. So, this one first. And 26. So you make sure when you cut these out, you see all those dotted lines separating the different ones. That's what I was cutting off of the 26th, or else you're going to have them floating around and floating under your decals. So, this is hard to see. It's right there. A better way to look at it is on here, and you can see it goes right to the line with the top of that vent. So we'll do the same thing on this side, right to the line with the top of that vent. Try and get it as straight as you can as soon as you put it down, so you don't have to move it. Use your Q-tip, cotton bud, get the water off underneath of it, the microsol on top of it. Move along to 26. which is now ready to go. And again, look at your pictures to see where it sits on the tail. And it sits straight up here, pretty close to the edge. You can see it started chipping away some of the tail after I looked at some references. Sometimes these things want to move when you're trying to roll the water out of them, like that one just did. Get the star going. Lay on that so I don't spill it. And we got the two bottom stars in this walkway. We'll do the bottom stars first because the last time I did the walkway it was a pain in the butt, so I'm going to try something different. So let's go ahead and get these moisturized. And this, a little more water on here. And look, the 26 moved again. And I tore it a little bit. So, make sure before you try and fix it, it's wet. Don't do what I just did. And get the little tear lined back up. If you're careful, you can get it lined up just like that. Sorry about that. So, we're going to get this set. Leave it be. See? When you say get a set and leave it be, get a set and leave it be. Okay, that's it. I ain't touching it. We're going to do the star. Okay. Doesn't go over. Always keep it wet if you're going to move it. So the straight part lines up with this part of the rudder. And the tip of the star is in the middle of the two. And then make sure that it's straight going this way too. All right. There are a lot of stencils that are going to go in here that you haven't seen yet. And a lot of weathering that the pictures will show you. Because it's not pristine on the bottom, trust me. So, the stars, this hole's right here, here and here and here, these pylons. So the star goes between the first two pylons, closer to the middle one, the bottom hole. You see how the water's beating up. Alright. So you want to make sure your star is pointing forward. Right? Yep. Alright, and then this one. We're going to scoot away. Of course, you want to try and have them aligned to one another. Once you're happy they're pretty well aligned, another dab of Solvacet. I should have probably taken the water out first. You can see it moving. But it stayed where it should stay. Alright. Let's talk. Oh, look what I did. Fortunately, it didn't rip. So you always gotta be careful where you put in your hands when you're doing decals. This one's gonna get some Solvacet. And then, wow, it did lay down and conform. Nice work, Solvacet. Now, if I can keep my fingers away from that, we're going to talk about this. So, on that one, I wet the whole thing, slid it off there all crooked, and then spent 20 minutes straightening it out. It's not perfectly straight, but it's close. This one, I'm going to cut into sections, line up each section individually, and hope that's easier. So I'm going to start with the back section. And I'm going to get this one wet too. So it's ready when I get the back one in place. And make sure you let these completely easily slide off, or else you'll tear them. And the part of having these without all the decal film in the middle is they're very flimsy. And the Hobby Boss ones are no different, as you can see, because they've got other decals sitting inside of them. So if I always ruin them, I do have a backup set. But the quality will be different. So fortunately it runs along the panel line. So as long as you follow the panel line, you're okay. See if it's ready. It is. Slide it right into place. Now, I don't know if you saw, but right in the corner got a little bent out of shape. But I cut it where the corners turn, so I could have it pointing down in the right direction. Alright, that was much easier than the other one. I'm going to get these wet before I put the other one down. I'm doing the short sides first because they're easier to adjust than the long sides. Okay, now see if we can get this one off without bending up the corner. And yeah, I leave my pile here of old decal sheets so they have a wet pile to put things on. Again, line it up with the panel line. Slowly pull it out. I didn't put any water down there. Again, said I didn't put any water down there, which wasn't very smart. Okay, I'm not going to roll across there, I'm just going to soak up some of this water. So hopefully when I do the long sides, these won't move as much. Now you get a long straight side and a long crooked side. I'm going to do the straight side first. And I'm not going to forget to put water down this time. So make sure it doesn't curl under. Okay, where to go? It's not on a finger. So you know, aren't you glad you're watching this? Huh. Normally something like that would stick right to your finger. Or go back to the paper. But it didn't. So, we're going to have to use part of the Hobby Boss one since apparently a magic act just happened. You can see it curled under a little bit. Okay, we got it off of there. Alright, it stuck to my finger. So I'm assuming the last one stuck to my finger too. And you can see that it caught onto the other one. So, let's get this straight. So I'm guessing it's a good idea to keep your fingers wet. Alright. Now bring it down. See where the panel line is. This is what I mean about being a pain. Because it curls up on itself like that. Keep your finger wet so you don't drag it off and it disappears. There we go. Patience. Again, I dropped a Q-tip in the water. Absorb the water, but don't roll across it, because you got right where you want it. Almost. You're kind of over the panel line. But hopefully, if you do this right, you can just pull it straight back, keep it in a straight line. It's going to be funny when I find that other red dot somewhere. Okay, we're exactly on the panel lines. This is off a tiny little bit. Tiny, tiny little bit. Sometimes you have to let it be off, or you're going to have to start all over again. Okay. Now, has anyone found the part that went away? Not on my shirt. Nope. Like I said, it's going to be funny when I do find it. So, the Hobby Boss set. A sharp knife. Make sure I get the right one. Cut it here. Cut it here. Do not cut the decal itself. You know, as soon as I get this wet and put on there, I'm going to find the other one. Aren't you glad you tuned in for the wonderful misadventures of decaling a walkway on an SU-34? Alright, we're going to let that sit for a second. While we do, we can talk about the landing gear's all done and ready to go. the fuel tank. It's all done and ready to go. Needs matte coated. I got 2 bomb racks ready to go. Need dull coated. Let's see if this comes off as easy as the 2 bobs. It does. Amazing. This might work after all. Now I'm being extremely careful because I do not want to move the whole decal again. Finger wet. Put in place. Follow the panel line. Let go. Absorb some of this water. Come on, slide up there. There we go. Connect there. So it looks slightly different, but not so much that after I get a weathering wash on it, it's going to be noticeable. And the only ones who are going to notice it are me and the couple of people who actually watch this. There's some parts sticking up here that I'm going to solve a set down. That looks good. Well, was that easier than doing the whole thing at once? Yes, because this I had to straighten one side of this, then the other, then go back and straighten the other side, and it kept crinkling up on itself. This was easier because I was pretty much doing straight lines, except for the fiasco of where the hell that other part of the decal went. Sorry, there's a cat hair right there driving me crazy. Okay, I've got all the main decals on. That's all I'm going to torment and torture you through, because there are instructions. Here we are. There's all those stencils. Here, let's get to the right aircraft. There's all those stencils. And all those stencils. And I'm not going to do them all, but I'm going to do quite a few of them after these all dry off. And I get rid of some of the silvering on these ones here. So, there you go. Hope you enjoyed my little adventure. Here's what the tail one finally looked like. It laid down. So get in here. Put my nose down. It laid down alright. It actually kind of looks like, it's crooked, but, you know, not bad. The engines are over there. Next time you see this, it'll be in the weathering stages. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the pictures of the real SU-34 I'm going to put up. This resin nose made a big difference. It's really nice. It fit perfectly. So I'm saying yes to the resin nose. I found it, look. It wrapped around the engine. Look, the mystery solved. It got sucked into the intake. And on that note, There you go. Be sure to not pick my nose with it. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed my little decaling session. And look, I lost it again. See you soon. There it is, little bastard.